My wife had been wanting a dining room, so we decided to turn my son's old room into the dining room. We removed the carpets and I found the hardwood floors underneath them, but they were totally destroyed. They had glued the carpet and stapled the carpet down directly to the hardwood floors. The painters that painted the room had splashed paint all over the hardwood floors. So before I could do anything, I had to take a heat gun and a scraper and scrape all the excess glue, paint, and old varnish, which had hardened almost to the point of a resin, off of the floor. There were staples I had to pull. Right here you can see I'm popping up the tack strip with a flat bar and a hammer where necessary and getting those out. It was a long and tedious process and took several weeks to get the floor ready. Here you can see I'm popping up some of those staples that they literally stapled straight directly into the floor. Once you got them up like that, then you could take a pair of pliers and go ahead and pull them on out. What you see here is denatured alcohol. You can get it at almost any hardware store. It is an actual fuel, so it is very flammable, and the fumes are horrendous. So be careful if you're going to try to use it, but it worked great on removing the residual glue that was left from after heating it and the residual paint that was left. And like I said, the fumes are just horrible, so if you're going to use it, be very careful. But you can see it's day and night from the use. Now I'm showing you can use a hand sander. I would not suggest it. It is a long, slow, painful, messy, tedious mess. If you can afford to, I would suggest that you go to one of your big box stores and rent a floor sander. Now, the floor sander is pretty easy to use. The problem being is you cannot let it sit in one place too long, or it will actually chew a hole into your floor. So, like I said, if you can afford it, I would suggest doing this, but if you can't, you can use a hand sander, and do not, if you're going to stop for a second, turn the power off to it, because it will chew a hole right into your floor. So be very cautious if you decide to use one of these. This is what my dining room turned into. My wife helped me do a lot of the painting. I did not take any pictures of me actually staining or sealing the floor, but I did stain and seal the hardwood floor after I got it all cleaned up and sanded. That's my wife's mannequin for the coffee bar. Her display of all her cups, which I built and made those shelves out of wood from Home Depot, and then bought the brackets at Hobby Lobby. The dresser we actually got in two pieces. The top piece we had for several years. I don't even remember where I got it from. But the bottom piece we got for free off of Facebook Marketplace. And it was in really bad shape. Had to sand it down and get it all ready to take paint, and we painted it up and then changed all the handles out on it, and I had to change all the drawer pulls and guides because they were all broken. But it turned out to look really nice in the room. In total, we spent about $250 to $300 on the furniture in the room, because we got everything from Facebook Marketplace at very cheap rates or for free. So everything can be done at a reasonable rate. It's just very much time consuming. The lamp here we found at a garage sale for $8. I sanded it down, rewired it, and got it all painted up. The sewing machine that you will see here shortly after I show the curtain was my mother's sewing machine. I'm estimating between 1910 to 1920. My mother is around 78 years old, and she sewed her first dress with this back when she was a child. It is a foot feed replica Singer that I am trying to restore and get it going. The hutch we also found on Facebook Marketplace. And it was a wood finish, so we sanded it down and painted it up to match the room and got everything going on it. The lamp on the top that you saw, I actually found in the trash and refurbished it. The hutch we paid, I believe, somewhere around $75 for. And as I said, we had to redo it to match the room, but it turned out to be a nice piece. Here are some more shelves I built my wife with the Hobby Lobby brackets to display some of her plates and everything on this side of the room. And then the shelf we also found on Facebook Marketplace, really cheap, so we decided to go with it to display the rest of her spooky dinnerware. We paid approximately $30 to $35 for this shelf, and we left it wooden to kind of go with the shelves that I'd built to kind of move the wood theme around the room. We saved the original 1939 door handle and skeleton key lock assembly and the hinges on the door and just refurbished and painted them. Then at the two entry doors into the room, we put curtain rods above the door and hung curtains, then used curtain tie hooks and tassels to pull the curtains back to give it the Victorian look. Then I used a transition piece to take the hardwood floor to the carpet floor right there. And being that it is a 1939 house, there was no pantry, so we took in the cube shelves and then a old bookshelf and mounted those together and mounted them to the wall and made our own pantry. And then I welded some rods together to make a curtain rod that curved around the entire thing, so that became our pantry on the back side behind the dining table right beside the kitchen door entrance. The dining table seats 4 with leaflets on each end that come out. That will seat 6. We redid all the chairs, sanded them down, painted them, and then had to reupholster them all, and then had to repair the actual table itself with some wood glue where pieces had fallen off, and then painted it. On Facebook Marketplace, we paid $100 for the 6 chairs and the table. Please like and subscribe.